I try to now change the narrative where football players should already start thinking way earlier about the next step, or at least make sure that they build a foundation.
Ryan Babel has always been more than an athlete. As a young player in England's Premier League, the world's most watched domestic league, Babel was known for being one of the most vocal athletes on social media. After 18 years in the game, the Dutch star is not only a champion soccer player and music producer, he's also a property investor who's been accumulating deals to set himself up for life after retirement. Here's how Ryan Babel is using real estate to set up his next play.
Great effort, a wonderful goal. How about that? Absolute picture of a goal. Ryan Babel picked that out.
I arrived at an age of 24 where I asked myself like, hey, I'm earning significant salaries with football, playing football, but what if football now disappears from my life? How am I able to pay the bills but also try to maintain this lifestyle? And that's where I start trying to find and reading books. First book that I read where I got the aha moment was the Rich Dad Poor Dad book from Robert Kiyosaki. And that laid me on the right path in understanding, okay, so I have to focus on real estate first before actually focusing on other stuff.
That focus has led to investments specifically in multifamily properties in Amsterdam and Miami. And he's far from alone. Scores of athletes of both mega and modest stardom have taken up real estate investing as a way to shore up their on-field earnings. And as Ryan charts his path towards owning 100 properties, he's focused on earning income passively while remaining just active enough to know the fundamentals.
I'm not at 100 properties yet, but I would say I am a little bit over 55%. In real estate, you definitely need to have a team. So I have a team of people. I have property management who is basically managing all my properties. In reality, I don't really do much other than overseeing and being kept in the loop about what's going on. And it also gives me time to really understand and learn how the business work of managing properties.
Today, it's common for athletes to not only share their interests publicly, but to outright celebrate their entrepreneurial and creative projects. But Ryan was arguably ahead of his time when he first began sharing his off-field interests 15 years ago. A time at which doing so inspired scrutiny from the press.
I made it known early on in my career that I was into music already. You're talking about 2005, 2006. I was doing little things with artists. But of course, I got criticized a lot by media and fans. From as a player that I should have focused on football. So I kind of stayed in the background with that.
Now, however, Ryan is unapologetic about showcasing his other main business venture.
2021 en ik ben nog in the game.
The Dutch veteran owns a record label, Underrated Music Group, through which he's released an album and signed other artists, all while looking towards a specific source of inspiration.
When people ask me like, hey, what do you try to accomplish? I would always, in a nutshell, say like, hey, I try to become the next Diddy. And not necessarily Diddy as in an artist, perspective, but more as in someone who's able to make successes out of his music entities, create careers for artists.
And as Ryan has gotten more comfortable in pursuing his passions in artistry and business, he's also gotten comfortable sharing advice as well, especially with his fellow athletes.
The message is that they have to get educated as soon as possible and start investing as soon as possible while they're still relevant and be able to make good money with playing football.